The Dictionary of Real Estate Appraisal, page 126. Chapter L continued, starting with Landlord. C. Lessor. Landmark. Number 1. A monument or erection that serves as a boundary dividing two adjoining parcels. Landmark number 2. A building, structure, or site recognized or designated by a unit of federal, state, or local government as historically, architecturally, or culturally significant. See also historic district, historic site, National Register of Historic Places. Land patent, a legal document in which the federal government conveys the title to land to an individual. Land planner, an individual who studies and evaluates the appropriateness of a property's location within the larger community, integrates a development and its facilities into the larger community, and makes recommendations concerning various development standards. For instance, density, community service, functional design, environmental safety, and health. Land planning, the discipline concerned with the design of land area uses, road networks, and utility layouts to ensure the efficient use of real estate resources. Land registration, the recording of deeds, mortgages, and other instruments in a public office as evidence of an individual's rights in real estate, and to protect against fraud and questions regarding the title to or interest in property. See also Torrens system. Land residual technique, a method of estimating land value in which the net operating income attributable to the land is capitalized to produce an indication of the land's contribution to the total property. See also band of investment. Landscape. Number 1. A relatively extensive view of rural scenery. Landscape number 2. The natural or man-made elements that characterize an area of land. For instance, the arrangement or design of trees, plants, flowers, open spaces, and topographic features. Landscape number 3. To improve the natural environment by modifying its features to achieve specific effects. Land service road, a road that is used primarily for access to land. Land subsidence, the lowering of the natural land surface due to groundwater or oil and gas extraction. Land survey, sea boundary survey. Land surveying. The location and identification of a parcel of land by a professional surveyor or engineer. Land titles system. A Canadian system for registering title documents modeled after the Torrens system. Land to building ratio. The proportion of land area to gross building area, one of the factors determining comparability of properties. See also floor area ratio, the acronym is FAR, F-A-R, and see also site coverage ratio. Land trust. Number 1, a legal vehicle for partial ownership interests in real estate, in which independently owned properties are conveyed to a trustee, may be used to effect a profitable assemblage, or in some cases, to facilitate the assigning of property as collateral for a loan. Land trust. Number 2, a nonprofit organization that, as all or part of its mission, actively works to conserve land by undertaking or assisting in land or conservation easement acquisition, or by the stewardship of such land or easements. Land Trust Alliance. Land use. Number 1, the employment of a site or holding to produce revenue or other benefits. Land use. Number 2, the designation by a governing authority of the use to which land may be put to promote the most Page 127. Advantageous development of the community. For instance, designation of industrial, residential, commercial, recreational, and other uses under a master plan. Land use map. A comprehensive map of a community or a section of a community that shows the character of all land uses and the extent and density of each use. Land use model. A simplified representation of a planner's understanding of the land development process, normally in the form of mathematical models or sets of equations. Land use planning. The development of land use plans that will best serve the general welfare over the long term, and the formulation of ways and means to implement these plans. Land use regulation. Any legal restriction, for instance, a zoning code or subdivision ordinance, that controls the use that land may be put to, may include controls established by restrictive covenants or contained in redevelopment or urban renewal plans approved by local governing bodies. Land use study. An inventory of the land parcels in a given community or area, classified by type or use. May include an analysis of the current patterns of use revealed by the inventory, and often includes the identification of areas appropriate for future development for various types of uses. Land value map. An assessment map that shows the value of land by location, expressed as value per square foot, per acre, etc., depending on the type of land involved. Land value tax. The application of a tax rate to assessed land value, as opposed to a tax rate based on the value of improvements, also called site value tax. Land value to building value ratio. The proportion of land value to building value. Ideally, comparable properties would have a similar land value to building value ratio. Laneway house. C, accessory dwelling unit. The acronym is ADU. Large lot zoning. The practice of zoning large lots, primarily for single-family residences, used mainly in rural and suburban areas to control the local environment and protect existing real property values. Larger parcel. In governmental land acquisitions and in valuation of charitable donations of partial interests in property such as easements, the tract or tracts of land that are under the beneficial control of a single individual or entity and have the same or an integrated highest and best use. Elements for consideration by the appraiser in making a determination in this regard are contiguity or proximity, as it bears on the highest and best use of the property, unity of ownership, and unity of highest and best use. In most states, unity of ownership, contiguity, and unity of use are the three conditions that establish the larger parcel for the consideration of severance damages. In federal and some state cases, however, contiguity is sometimes subordinated to unitary use. Late charge. A penalty that a borrower or tenant must pay for failing to make a regular payment when it is due. Latent defect. A physical weakness or construction defect that cannot be detected in a reasonably thorough inspection of the property. Latent demand. Demand that is present in the real estate market, but not accommodated by existing facilities. For instance, there are not enough existing properties or space in those properties to meet the demand, or the existing properties are too expensive for the Page 128. Prospective buyers and renters in the market at that time. Latent demand consists of unaccommodated demand and induced demand. See also induced demand and move up demand and residual demand and unaccommodated demand.